The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. With this mysterious opening line, Laozi begins one of the most profound philosophical texts in human history. To understand the Dao De Jing, we must first grapple with its central, most elusive concept, the Tao itself. It is the most important term in Chinese philosophy, yet it remains the most difficult to define because it represents a reality that exists far beyond the reach of human language. Laozi challenges us to move past our intellectual labels and enter a state of receptive wonder. It is the foundation of ethics, the guide for leadership, and the rhythm of existence. But before it is a teaching, it is an experience of the fundamental nature of reality. It is the ultimate source and principle of the universe, the silent origin from which all things emerge. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore this formless, nameless essence. We will examine why the Tao cannot be fully described, how it acts as the mother of all things, and how it remains both transcendent and deeply present in our everyday lives through the beauty of poetic paradox.
To truly grasp the Dao De Jing, we must start with the word itself. At its most basic literal level, Dao translates to the way, a path, or a road. But Laozi does something radical. He elevates this common term to signify the ultimate source and governing principle of the entire universe. It is the primordial force that existed long before the stars were formed or the earth took shape. Think of it not as a personified deity with human emotions or desires. Rather, it is an impersonal, spontaneous power that generates and sustains everything in existence. Imagine a vast, silent river. This river doesn't just flow through the world, it is the very substance of the world's reality. It is the natural order, the underlying logic that makes the seasons change and the planets rotate in their orbits. In Laozi's thought, the Tao is the non-being, the Wu, from which all being, the Yu, continually arises. It is the silent, invisible foundation upon which all of reality is built, acting as the quiet architect of every living thing, without ever demanding recognition. Laozi insists that as soon as we name the Tao, we limit it. Think of our words like small ceramic cups trying to hold the entire ocean. We might capture a few drops of truth, but the vastness, the weight, and the depth always remains outside our grasp. When we give something a name, we define what it is, but by definition, we also define what it is not. If we label the Tao as light, we have suddenly excluded dark. Yet the Tao is the source of both. It is the totality that contains all opposites and all possibilities. This is why Laozi famously refers to it as the uncarved block. Imagine a piece of wood before it has been shaped into a chair, a table, or a bowl. In its raw, uncarved state, it possesses infinite potential. It could become anything. But once the carpenter begins to slice it into categories and specific forms, that original wholeness is lost. The Tao is that state of pure, undifferentiated potential, the one that exists before our human minds begin to carve reality into definitions, labels, and judgments. To truly understand the Tao, we must look beyond the names we have given it.
Laozi often describes the characteristics of the Tao through negation. He tells us what it is not, inviting us to feel its presence rather than define it. It is formless, possessing no physical shape for the hand to grasp. It is nameless, existing in the vast silence before language was ever conceived. Because the Tao is eternal, it remains untouched by the passage of time or the inevitable decay of matter. You might call it invisible, yet its pulse is felt in every movement of the natural world. One of Laozi's most profound metaphors is the mother of all things. This is a crucial distinction. Unlike a distant creator who dictates from afar, the Tao nurtures life like a mother, providing everything that 10,000 things need without demanding recognition or exerting rigid control. It is the great mystery, the deep, fertile void that is never exhausted, no matter how much it gives. It doesn't claim ownership over its creations, it simply allows them to be. In this way, the Tao is the ultimate source of nourishment, a silent presence that sustains the entire universe while remaining beautifully hidden in plain sight.
Laozi takes this abstract concept and gives us a roadmap of creation, a cosmic progression that explains how the universe actually unfolded. He famously wrote, "The Tao produced the One produced the Two produced the Three, and the Three produced all things." This isn't just a simple sequence, it's a profound realization that the Tao is the 0 point, the state of absolute unity before the world was divided into the dualities of yin and yang. Imagine a void so full of potential that it ripples. That first ripple is the One. From that unity, the polarities of light and dark, or firm and yielding, emerged. When we look at the vast expanse of the sky, or feel the solid foundation of the earth beneath our feet, we are witnessing the outward manifestation of this hidden, internal source. Whether it's the majesty of a jagged mountain range or the haunting silence of the deep cosmos, every detail we perceive is like a branch growing from this single invisible root. The Tao is the silent origin, the singular point where heaven and earth find their beginning and their constant, quiet support.
This brings us to a beautiful realization, the relationship between the Tao and what Laozi calls the 10,000 things, or Wan Wu. This phrase doesn't just mean 10,000, it refers to the infinite variety of all existence, every creature, every plant, and every object in our cosmos. But how does the formless Tao relate to these specific physical forms? This is where we encounter the concept of day. You can think of day as the inner virtue, or the Tao as it is expressed within an individual being. It is the specific blueprint of the Tao made manifest in a single form. The Tao doesn't micromanage the world. It doesn't command the seasons or force the tides. Instead, it allows every creature to follow its own spontaneous path. The grass grows green because it is simply in its nature to do so, and the stars shine because they are effortlessly following the Tao. There is a radical equality here. Since all things emerge from the same primordial source, everything is connected in a vast web-like harmony. Nothing is truly separate. In Laozi's eyes, a tiny seed and a massive galaxy are equally profound, both being perfect, unique expressions of the one eternal way.
Let's explore a beautiful paradox at the heart of the Tao. It is simultaneously transcendent and immanent. When we say it is transcendent, we mean it is beyond, the primordial void that existed long before the physical universe took shape. It isn't restricted by the material world or its laws. Think of it as the vital nothingness that makes every something possible. Just as the empty space inside a cup is what makes it useful, the Tao is the essential emptiness that allows existence to be.
To capture the essence of the Tao, Laozi employs a unique tool, the power of paradox. He speaks of action through inaction and suggests that the greatest fullness looks empty. These aren't just clever riddles meant to be solved by the intellect. Instead, they act as mirrors, reflecting a reality that exists beyond our rigid binary categories. By bypassing our analytical minds, these poetic contradictions invite us to feel the truth of the Tao rather than merely define it. Consider his favorite image, water. Water is the softest of all things, yet it eventually wears down the hardest stone. This is the paradoxical strength Laozi wants us to recognize. He encourages us to embrace these contradictions, teaching us that true power often lies in yielding and true wisdom in unknowing. When we stop trying to force the world to fit our narrow definitions, we begin to move in alignment with the natural flow. We learn to navigate life with the grace of a mountain stream, moving through obstacles with ease rather than struggle. Ultimately, the Tao remains a profound mystery, one understood only when we let go of the need to control and return to the great harmony that has always been our true home.